I don't, Palestinian News Network, I believe is the name of Ali's channel. And he decided to go around, I kid you not, this happened a couple of days ago at the, I guess there's like a cafeteria. Thanks. There is a conversation that was happening in the cafeteria where he basically just goes up to people and asks them a very simple question.
America first or Israel first?
Huh?
America first or Israel first?
Yeah, keep walking.
Keep walking?
Yeah.
How about keep standing?
Okay, I'm not taking part in this.
Sir, are you scared?
Two guys just walked up to me in public and with phones out. What
Sir, we're in the U.S. Senate right now. Are you worried about something?
I'm trying to read a book.
Sir, you're a chicken. Thank you, though. Thank you for your input. Sir,
I'm on the phone.
America first or Israel first? Didn't ask, don't care. America first or Israel first? We know your answer. We got it. Red face. Red face loser.
I mean, I don't know what John Dolan.
Sir, America first or Israel first? You're not going to talk to me? Sir, any answer?
Not talking to you. Take me off the camera.
What you can do about it, tubby guy?
I'll call the Capitol Police.
Please do. They know me well. This is legal, sir. Tell them I called you tubby. See what they do about it. Sir, America first or Israel first?
Officer, you guys are harassing people.
Sir, we're just asking people, America first or Israel first? That's within our rights,
No, sir. If you can just please leave these people alone.
You can call your supervisor. I'm allowed to be here, sir. You can call. I'll be right here. Ladies, America first or no? We'll leave you alone. Free Palestine, ladies. Free Palestine. Sir, America first or Israel first? Hi guys, can we ask you your stance on Palestine?
I'm sorry, that's not really what I'm here to talk about.
Thanks for asking.
So I pause it on them because, in my opinion, they probably are Free Palestine, but these are also probably Senate staffers, and they know that if they are caught on camera saying Free Palestine, it's probably their job. So that goes to show you how powerful this lobby is in the halls of Congress. If you were, again, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I would imagine you would agree that if you only got to see these two people's faces and you asked them Palestine or Israel, you would guess that they would say Palestine, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's basically with a wink and a nod telling them, yeah, we can't talk about this, but we agree with what you're doing. That's why they're being very pleasant. Other guys, not so much, but they're the only two that I think I see in this entire time that are like, I can't say it, but I think you get the idea.
Have a good one. Anyway.
Super lame, bro. Super duper lame, bro. Thought you had some humanity. You look like a human. You look like a human. Sir, you need to go to the gym. You need to go to the gym, bro.
That's not.
Excuse me, gentlemen. America first or Israel first? No comment? That's an easy one, though.
No problem. Can we?
Okay, thank you, guys. We're just checking. We're just checking.
I could stay for you.
Guys, America first or Israel first? That guy's eating like he's playing in a movie. So you're not in a movie. You're not that cool. Just kidding, bro. You're cool, bro. You're cool. Munch that shit. Look at that. He thinks he's like Jason Statham or something. He liked that. He liked that one. Now, he's a cool guy. Sir, Free Palestine.
He said America first.
America, sir, can we get that one on camera, brother? He's afraid to do it on camera. We got one America first. Can we get that on camera? No, okay, we know. Just wink. Blink twice. If it's America first, blink twice. Just kidding, my brother. God bless you, sir. Welcome to the U.S. Senate. Sir, America first or Israel first?
I think we should all work together and they both should be first.
How about?
I mean, if that
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing, man?
I've got a pro-Israel fundraiser I need to get to right now.
It just blows my mind that this is a difficult conversation for people who are working for our country, supposedly.
Yeah, it's crazy to me how like now these, pro-Israel people are trying to hijack America first and changing, well, it can be America first and Israel first. They don't have to be mutually exclusive, but it's like that's the whole point.
Yeah, no, you can't have two firsts. That's correct. And what you also have to remember, the career comes first. And they're not going to jeopardize it. I rarely ever see anybody say, like, again, you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, you've got Matt Gaetz, you've got a few people that have basically been willing to go in a different direction because they can't just live with themselves doing this. And then there are others that can. And so just earlier today, AOC, for example, endorsed a candidate for Congress that's taken like already $50,000 from AIPAC this election cycle alone. You have to make a decision. You have to. The future of our country is riding on this. Now, I hope we get to a point in the not too distant future where answers like this are grounds for removal from whatever position you're in. Saying free Palestine should automatically grant you an appreciative nod, and I'm Israel Chai, as I like to say, is just grounds for removal. Like, I really think it's that simple at this point. And the good news is the direction that we're going in, our two respective generations, is that direction. So a gentleman of his age and persuasion, his way of thinking and doing business, that's on the way out. It's not going to last.
Palestine.
What about Palestine?
Can they be first too?
I think everyone should be first.
Right,
All
you
you do is talk.
Clever answer, sir. Most people get tongue-tied. Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel first? You look like an American, sir. If you can. America first. Dan, you're the first one who said it. Guys, take a lesson from this OG right
Nice.
here. How you doing, sir?
What's up, buddy?
Hey,
How you doing today?
I'm great. How about you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Can't
You guys
complain.
just interview people?
Just
or?
asking people America first or Israel first, that's all. Which is within our rights, but I understand people get frustrated, agitated, whatever the case may be.
Alright.
Free Palestine.
Hey,
Thank
if you
you.
need help, let us know.
I got you, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
If you cause any ruckus, we're going to deal with you. No, but that's the beautiful thing. And so PNN News, which is considered terrorist news by, Stop Anti-Semitism and all those wonderful pro-Israel NGOs, that's how you do your job. That's how you get in there and make things uncomfortable. That's why, even though you guys would see her in opposite affiliation in terms of politics, but Medea Benjamin and Code Pink, they do an amazing job. And they are on the front lines, always getting arrested, always questioning what these guys are up to. And all they can say is, you're paid by China, which of course is bullshit. They're not. But that's what they do. They have nothing else. They have nothing else. You see, like, somebody who I always like to point out that is in your age demographic, which is IL Jacoby. They always are using their social media platform to say, this person's bad, that person's bad. IL, you are an agent of Israel. You are a wealthy suburbanite from South Jersey who went to Ivy League institutions, and you're persecuted. You don't feel safe. You're not going to survive this world, pal. And frankly, I don't care if you do or not. I think that we're at that point where we have to recognize where the coalition needs to be built. And I do think that Israel is one of those prime issues that allows us to coalesce in a very meaningful way. Your thoughts?
I completely agree. And I think without joining hands with some people that we might disagree on different issues with, we're not going to facilitate any actual change that we want to see. It's necessary sometimes. I guess the phrase is, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But we see that throughout human history, that people that typically would not have aligned with each other because they have a common enemy who is working against the interests of both of their respective nations, countries, groups, they work together. And so I'm more than willing to link an arm with, although you said AOC now is apparently hanging out with all the Zionists, I'm more than willing to work with somebody that disagrees with me on immigration or maybe some economic policies in order to free our government and country from Zionist control.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I always use this term. I think it's one struggle. I mean, I think it's like, the white and blacks, the Christians and the Muslims. We need to work together. the left and the right, we need to work together to really get the Zionist and Israeli influence out of our government. And it's like a no-brainer. I mean, imagine if Russia or China had a lobby for our politicians, or our politicians were going to kiss the Great Wall of China, every president. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think stuff like immigration, though, I think like multinational corporations love mass immigration, and leftists are supposedly want to help the average man, help the worker, but they support the same policies that Bill Gates and all these other billionaires are supporting as well. So I find that funny. But yes, I think there's a lot of common ground where the left and the right could come together.
Well, I will push back on that from this perspective. I think that when you're talking about anybody who politically doesn't understand the basic nuances of the immigration issue, are ones that just look at the cruelty of ICE, for example, and do not want people being treated like that. And from a human perspective, especially a Christian, a Christ-like perspective, it's simply unacceptable. And as I would tell anybody, if you really have a problem with people being in this country who are technically not citizens, then your problem is not with those individuals, frankly, even if it's millions of them, because they're not coming here unless the powers that be are letting them come here. There's no other way. We're the most surveilled country in the world. You think China surveils their people? We're so much worse. Every single one of these things is a tracking device. Every one of them. Mm-hmm. That's how they've
100%.
been. So I think when people want to figure out ways to divide us, it is obvious that in any culture, any race, creed, religion, it doesn't matter. You're going to have bad people that are going to get into this country. Out of a country of 350 million, you're going to get murderers, rapists, psychos, drug pushers, drug dealers, everything, hitmen, mules, as they're called. They're there, and they're always going to be there. And when you encounter it firsthand and you see what it's like, I can tell you that in most cases, it's out of desperation. Economic dependency or lack thereof can cause people to do a lot of messed up things. But anytime you go to a country like I did once, going to the Dominican Republic and seeing what abject poverty really looks like, where they have nothing, you can understand why people end up. I'm not defending crime. Let's be honest. I am when it comes to law and order, I'm pretty conservative. But there is no question how we get there. And so if we form these coalitions and we go after the heart of the issues that are really causing our plight in this nation and around the world, you will see. And as the old saying goes, you want to know who's in charge? Find out who you can't criticize. That's why the issue of Israel is the third rail for so many. And that's why it's become such a very big problem. Now, Nicky, where are you based? Are you in Arizona?
No, I'm from Texas. I'm in Texas right now.
Okay, so Jeb, you don't even have to put up with it anywhere near as much as Nicky does. You've got the three biggest.
There's Somalians in Fargo, North Dakota, and Minnesota, for example. Well, but for the most part, it's white. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something about the Somalis. Have you ever had their food? Have you ever eaten it?
No, I haven't.
Pretty
bananas
amazing.
and rice, bro.
Bananas and rice, yeah.
That was, if you can't tell that was a troll, and good on her, that was definitely a troll. But I'm telling you,
I don't know.
I'm telling you, you try some, and I will always say, the thing about Washington, D.C. in particular, there is an Ethiopian restaurant called Das Ethiopia that's in Georgetown. That's my favorite restaurant in the entire city. And you wouldn't know that because you think, well, what's Ethiopian? I'm telling you. It's the way it's done here. It's done to create this feeling of the unknown, so to speak. And that's much more common in the Great Plains regions of the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, places like that. And even in Texas, they try to divide. But I'm telling you, so much of what we perceive is the reason why, we can't have nice things. It's the furthest thing from the truth. And in Texas, for example, you have the three biggest Christian Zionist pastors anywhere. John Hagee, who's in charge of Christians United for Israel, which is the biggest one. That's San Antonio. Kenneth Copeland with the crazy eyes. He's the psycho who's in Dallas, Fort Worth. And then finally, you have Joel Osteen, who's in Houston. And I always say, and again, it's cliche, the Jewish Zionists, they provide the money, and the Christian Zionists provide the flock. If we can figure out how to disassociate people from this nonsense, they're sitting ducks. And whatever the future of America First looks like, we're not going to agree on everything, without question. But I think we're going to agree on enough where if we're trying to get out from this two-party duopoly, that's where it's going to happen. And as we conclude,
I'll throw in.
no,
I hate
please.
to cut you off, but
Oh,
you're
please.
talking about Texas pastors. This
Yeah.
might be an area of expertise for me. I grew up at a Dallas mega church. It's actually one of the 10 biggest churches in America. And the pastor and the church body, I would say, for the most part, is Zionist. But what I've seen already in the past month and a half since I publicly criticized Israel is I've had multiple people reaching out to me from that church saying, I think you're right about the Israel topic. And people going up to friends of mine or people that I know and telling them, hey, I've seen Nicky and what he's been talking about and the things he's been putting out there on social media. I think he's correct. So you're seeing Christian Zionists who are the flock that you were referring to. They're starting to shift over. They're starting to change. I did want to harp real quick about, you were bringing up immigration and talking about the food is great. It is absolutely is great. There's no mistaking that. But I think the problem that a lot of young people that are my age, and I think Jeb would probably agree this is the experience he's had as well, is that it's not so much just immigration for the sake of these individuals who are walking around. It's the demographic change. It's that going from, I live in the Dallas area, and this is something that I'm going to be continuing to work on in the future. We have seen an unprecedented demographic change in Dallas-Fort Worth in 20 years. It has gone literally, the hometown that I grew up in and all the cities that surround it are unrecognizable now. We're talking about there's like 100,000 H-1B visas in the Dallas area alone. It's actually insane. And this is something that brings insecurity, and people say, well, if this is my home and this is where I grew up at, aren't I entitled to like keep that and preserve it for my children and for the future? And so I would say we can link with people who are on the left, who are Israel critical on the issues that matter, like Israel and some economic policies. But I've seen people talk about this online. I want to see a coalition that comes together that they have to agree on this immigration issue as well. That is something that is crucial for us because for us, I'm willing to work on some economic policies that might be a little liberal. Okay, I'm fine. I'll cede some ground there. But if we can do that, come together on the issue we absolutely agree on, which is Israel and Zionist control, and then they come to the immigration side of the issue, I think that you will see a new party that will reign for 100 years in this country.
Now, if you have thoughts, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Texas, I mean, you have a lot of H-1B1 visas. I mean, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's unrecognizable. My father grew up in DFW area. Somewhere like Fargo, North Dakota, for example, I mean, I grew up there. It was a really safe, nice town. And, the Somalians really just ruined it. I hate to say it, but they really just ruined it. If you look at Minneapolis, Minnesota, for example, if you go to the inner city, it looks like a third world country. I mean, it smells like weed everywhere you go. There's homeless people everywhere, like just look mentally ill people. It's not safe whatsoever. And it's just, I would rather have order over chaos any day. And I would cede ground. I mean, I think we could have like some sort of subsidized national healthcare system, for example, if we had our demographics in shape, because, a lot of these immigrants that are coming over, they're taking advantage of America and they don't really understand what it is to be an American. They don't understand American culture truly. And like Somalians, for example, a large percent of them are on welfare. And I saw Omar Feta the other day, and he's like, well, it's not the problem as immigrants. The problem is white people. And I don't think these people really understand our societies. And not all immigrants are the same. I would say like Mexicans, for example, really come into and assimilate with America well. I mean, they're Christian, they're hardworking, and they have family values. But not you can't hate everyone equally, and not every group of people is the same.
Here's what I would tell you as a fellow white man. You are going to eventually evolve on this thought process because, again, the fear of the unknown plays a huge part in this. Now, I will say that when it comes to the demographic changes you allude to, there is an issue that I think people tend to ignore, which is assimilation. And assimilation is something that makes people very uncomfortable because if you're coming to the United States and you're not becoming a part of the United States, you're basically carving out this whole other world that is just different. And the different language, different customs, different culture, and all that, it does make it more difficult. Now, where I do agree with you which I think is absolutely correct, is on the H-1B visa issue. And the reason this is such a big problem is because we do not live in a country that has tuition-free public college and trade schools. We do not train people. You see, if we lived in a country where we have certain industries that are in demand, let's say, and instead of trying to bring in people, let's say from India, for example, that are willing to work for pennies on the dollar once again, compared to people who want to be able to live here, because again, in many cases, I used to work with many people that when I remember when I was a teenager and I was working in a bagel shop at a gentleman who was from Egypt, and what he would do is he would work and then he would just send the money home. And that is what's happening in many cases. They're not investing the money here in the States. And that's why I believe in shop small, buy local. I think that movement is a very big thing. The other thing that I also want to address is that if the true concern is whether or not people of different cultures and creeds are adjusting to life in the United States in a way that would be accepting or less of an uncomfortable scenario that many people feel when they're living in certain parts of the country and they're used to certain culture for so many years, so many generations, is dealing with this issue of education, which is such a big deal. When people are desperate to put food on the table, when they want to succeed, and they see other people coming here from different cultures that were not born here, were not raised here, do not believe in the Constitution, if you will, and they're getting a leg up on everybody else, it's understandable why people will get resentful and look at them and say, well, you know what? My family's been here for 5 generations. Why should we have to continue sliding down when it's obvious you're giving a leg up to somebody else? So while I can't go along with you guys in terms of what I would consider the surface level of what this is about, I think what's under the surface is a lot more to the point of what I'm making, which I think you probably agree with. And if we're able to deal with that, if we're able to deal with, again, tuition-free trade schools, somebody wants to be a welder, somebody wants to be a computer engineer, an electrical engineer, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be paying them to learn how to do it. You want to compete with China? You want to compete with India? That's how you do it. We have to have citizenry here that is actually capable of competing against that shit. And the only reason they don't do it is because the people who run the fucking show control everything and they want us to be slaves. That's the bottom line. And when we bicker back and forth about, well, I don't want to live near Somalis, I don't want to live near the Mexicans, and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, the people at the top, they win because that's what they want. So yeah. I would say that while we can't agree completely on this issue, I do think that there are pieces of this issue that I would like to think we can find agreement on. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, we need to have better paying jobs. I mean, I think the whole college thing and how college is so expensive is just crazy, and how everyone needs to go to college is crazy. I'd also like to point out though that, a lot of these Zionists are the same ones who support mass immigration.
Oh,
so
of course they do. Of course they do.
And like the H-1B1 visas thing, for example, like even Trump and like it's really the Republicans that support like H-1B1 visas, which is bizarre. Like if these Indians were so great and innovative and smart, why is it China importing, hundreds of thousands of Indians to help their AI programs? I mean, that's just how I see it.